There are vacant homes in Oklahoma right now, lots of them. We're talking over 220,000 vacant housing units statewide, empty, sitting there. And at the same time, people in Tulsa cannot find a place they can afford to live. How does that happen? How does the state have over 200,000 empty units and still have a housing crisis? This does not add up, except it does. And once you understand why, you'll see why the Tulsa housing market is completely different. That is what this video is about. No spin, no scare tactics, just the real picture of what is happening in this city right now and what that means for you. Hi, I'm Jessica Ford, a Tulsa Metro real estate agent, and I work with a lot of people relocating to the Tulsa Metro area who are looking for homes with some land and some space, and I have more than 291 five-star reviews from clients to prove it. So I hear these questions every week, and they deserve a real answer. Let's hop into it. So here's the question that's on the table. How can Oklahoma have more than 220 vacant housing units, including nearly 39,000 listed as available for rent, and still have a shortage of affordable housing? The answer comes down to one word: affordability. And they're not the same thing. A vacant unit is just an empty house. It does not tell you whether that space is in livable condition. It does not tell you whether anyone can afford it. And it does not tell you whether anyone even has the legal authority to rent it or to sell it. And a lot of these vacant homes in Oklahoma have been structurally compromised. They need expensive repairs that no one has the money to make, and some are tied up in probate cases with unclear ownership, which means there's no one that is legally able to sell or to rent them. Some have sat with deferred maintenance for so long that it would cost more to renovate them than to tear them down and build new. Here is the number that should land. Even if you could somehow make every single vacant rental unit in Oklahoma available tomorrow, the state would still fall tens of thousands of units short of what low-income renters need. And that is because the shortage is not really about quantity, it's about price. Oklahoma is short more than 80,000 rental homes affordable to extremely low-income households. That figure comes straight from March 26 Oklahoma Watch report using state housing data, and it coexists with all the empty buildings because the units that exist, the ones that are actually habitable and available, are priced below what those households can pay. There's also something called naturally occurring affordable housing. That is older rental stock, apartment, and households that never were on government subsidies, but they just happen to be cheap because they're old. That housing is disappearing. As those older buildings deteriorate or get redeveloped, they almost always get replaced with something that has higher rent. The affordable by default option isn't in this price point. And here's the ripple effect that no one talks about. When higher income households cannot find housing that fits their budget, they move down in the market. They start renting and buying what would have otherwise been available to lower income families. The pressure then gets pushed down the ladder, and the people at the bottom, they have nowhere left to go. That is the paradox. Vacancy and scarcity living in the same zip code. Now let's zoom into Tulsa specifically because these dynamics are a little different. Tulsa has documented nearly 13,000 new housing units over the next decade. That's with the city's 2023 housing strategy, they estimate 6,000 of those homes to be affordable by 2028, and that's part of their resolution for the shortage. They have identified nearly 13,000 units needed over the next 10 years, and 4,000 of them are in demand right now. That means people that need housing today that don't have it. And here's what I find interesting and honestly a little frustrating as someone who works in this market. There is a mismatch happening between what's being built in Tulsa and who actually needs a home. A lot of the new construction that is going up right now skews towards larger 3 and 4 bedroom home. Those serve certain buyers well, and those buyers who are struggling to find housing, looking for a 4 bedroom house on a big lot, those are young professionals. Those are retirees who want to downsize. Those are single income households. They need smaller attainable units, and those are units that the market is not producing right at this price point. So this disconnect is what makes Tulsa's problem structural, not just mathematical. You can build a lot and still not solve the shortage problem if you're building the wrong thing for the wrong buyer. The city has been leaning into infill development as part of the solution, and infill means building on vacant or underused land that already exist inside the city rather than expanding out to suburban ground. So it's filling the gaps and empty lots in established neighborhoods, abandoned commercial buildings converted to housing, small starter homes built on parcels that have sat idle for years. The goal is to add housing stock in places where infrastructure already exists instead of sprawling outward. And median prices in Tulsa right now, as of early 26, the median sale price still sits at $360,000, up 4.5% from around a year and a half ago. And the average is still 43% below the national average, which is significant. Year-over-year cost increases have been real, and for buyers in the lower end of the market, that gap is closing faster than their wages are growing. Tulsa's city government has not been silent on this, and I want to be fair here because there is actual tangible work that is being done. The biggest news is the $47 million Tulsa Housing Impact Fund. Voters approved this to improve our Tulsa initiative in January of 26, and the city signed the agreement to formally begin deploying those funds through the Housing Partnership Network. It's a nationally respected organization that has managed over billions of dollars for affordable housing, and it's designed to attract private dollars, not just public dollars, and they have received 30 million private commitments so far, and that is being deployed into different buckets across the city: preservation, rehabilitation of abandoned homes, as well as infrastructure. So the Community Builder Pilot Program is worth understanding because it addresses the vacant property problem, and it is specific for rehabilitating abandoned properties and turning them into usable housing. So this launched mid-2025, and the city is now evaluating these results. There is also a T-Town Home Catalog, which is a library of pre-approved building plans for infill housing. The idea is to cut through the permitting and review process so that anyone who wants to build a small home or a duplex on an existing lot can move faster and cheaper. Pre-review plan sets reduce approval timeline, permit-ready designs for different lot sizes is a practical way to get more housing started without waiting months on individual reviews. And Mayor Nicholas has made housing a priority, including a specific goal of 6,000 available units by 2028. They intend to increase that acceleration, and it started by downtown housing projects where the permits were issued within 30 days. Now, is all of this enough? Honestly, that's a hard question. The city is moving and intentions are real, but these are big targets against a deep deficit. The funding is just beginning to deploy, and the challenge of convincing developers to build affordable homes when economics don't just go away because these funds exist. This takes time, and Tulsa is still in the early stages. So let me get practical, because this is what most of you actually want to know. Who is getting priced out of Tulsa right now? The honest answer is people who were barely in the market 2 or 3 years ago. Tulsa County owned data shows that the median single-family income has risen 50% since 2019, moving from $270,000 to $350,000. That is where a family could have bought in 2020 on a moderate income may not qualify today for the same house. This is real, and it's happening here. About 46% of Tulsa renters are cost burdened right now, meaning they spend more than 30% of their income on housing. Roughly 1 in 6 spends more than half. Those are not abstract statistics. Those are your neighbors, your coworkers, and your family members. So what does a first-time buyer actually do right now? Number 1 is get real about your numbers before you fall in love with a house. Know your true budget, not just what a lender will approve. There is a difference between what you qualify for and what leaves you in a healthy financial position. Number 2, do not rule out programs designed for exactly this moment. The Tulsa County Housing Authority has a first-time homebuyer assistance program, especially because people were priced out. Demand was so high, they expected these funds exhausted quickly. So do your research, but they can make a difference between buying now and waiting another 2 years. And then number 3 is consider what you actually need versus what you think that you want. In this market, a smaller home in a good neighborhood may outperform and out-appreciate a larger home in a less established area. I see buyers stretch themselves thin, wanting more square footage, instead of making a smart buy maybe in a different location. Is renting still good for you right now? It depends. That is not a hard and fast answer. Sometimes renting is strategic, and in Tulsa, rents have not gone down. The question is never rent versus buy in the abstract. It is about your specific situation, your timeline, your financial position, and your overall goals. So those conversations are the ones that I have with people every single week. So after all of this, here is what I want you to hold on to. I just walked you through Tulsa is still one of the most affordable mid-sized cities in America. The national median home price is nearly double ours. Our cost of living is 17% below the national average, and people are still relocating here from Dallas, from Miami, from Los Angeles. specifically because this city gives them more for their money and more quality of life than they could get anywhere else. The city is actively working on this. I am not just saying that to be polite. The $47 million housing fund has been stood up with professional management. The community builder program is running, the infill strategy is being executed, and these are not press releases. These are real structures with real money attached to them. And the window to buy in this market before conditions change is still open, but it requires moving with information instead of fear. Fear always freezes people. It makes buyers wait for the perfect moment that never comes. It makes sellers hold back when the timing is actually right. And what I've found with over 22 years in business is that the people who act on clear information at the right moment for their circumstances almost always come out ahead. The ones who wait for the market to be perfect usually always miss their window of opportunity. Tulsa does have real challenges that are being faced with real resources. And for the right buyer in the right situation, this is still an extraordinary place to plant a flag. So, if any of this landed for you, I want to hear from you. Not to sell you something, not to push you to a decision, just to have a real conversation about what your situation actually looks like and what makes sense for you right now, today in this market. I work with buyers who are coming into Tulsa, people who have been here for years and are thinking about their next move, and everyone in between. My job is to help you make a smart decision with your eyes wide open. You can find me at livingintulsarealestate.com, or you can always call or text me directly. And if this video helped you understand something you did not understand before, hit that like button, tap that subscribe. I put out Tulsa market updates on a regular basis, and I want you to have the real information when you need it. And until next time, I hope to show you around town.